Today on Happy Healthy Living with Yvonne Douglas, we are making Yvonne's favorite holiday cookie. It's Birds in the Nest. Stay tuned.
Birds in the Nest cookies get their name because of how they are baked. Basically, you put a little indentation in the middle to make a little well, and you fill it with some jelly or jam, and it kind of gives the impression that there's a bird in the nest.
So let's talk about all the ingredients and supplies you're going to need to make this delicious holiday cookie. First of all, you're going to need 1 cup of butter. That's 2 sticks. Make sure that you have 1 cup of firmly packed brown sugar. I'm using light brown sugar. You're going to need 2 cups of unsifted all-purpose flour, 2 eggs that needs to be separated. So if you don't have an egg separator, I highly suggest you get one. It just makes it so much easier. You're also going to need a little lemon zest. I used maybe about a half a teaspoon of lemon zest and about a teaspoon of orange zest. You're also going to need 1 teaspoon of pure vanilla extract, a pinch of salt, maybe about 2 tablespoons of water, and you'll definitely need a mixer. I'm using my KitchenAid mixer here, a nut grinder because you're going to be using at least 1 cup of pecan nuts. Now, I get these finely diced pecan nuts and then I put it in my nut grinder and just grind those up even finer because we're going to be rolling the dough into the nuts. Another thing that is super important, very important for this cookie, no substitutes, you have to use this, is red raspberry jam. Now, don't get jelly. You can use jelly, but the problem with jelly is it will run when it's heated in the oven unless you use a very small amount. But use the jam. It will hold better for the cookie.
So my dogs were making all this noise, so I decided to do a voiceover. All right, so we're gonna get our eggs here. I'm gonna crack 2 eggs in my egg separator. And what we're doing is we're gonna be using the 2 yolks for the dough, and then we're gonna be using the egg whites to roll the little balls that we're going to make of the dough in it so we can attach the nuts to it. So I'm just separating my eggs right now. And make sure you have some bowls available to do this because it's really helpful to crack your eggs and then just transfer your egg yolks into another bowl. After we crack our eggs and separate them, I'm adding my 1 cup of unsalted butter to my bowl there. And I'm also adding my 1 cup of light brown sugar that has been firmly packed. And what you want to do with your butter and your sugar is just cream it together. You'll do this for about a minute or two. You just want it nicely creamed together. Okay, after a while, you want to make sure that you stop the machine and scrape down the sides with a rubber spatula, and then you'll just cream it again. Remember, do this for around 1 to 2 minutes until it's very well creamed. Okay, next you want to add your orange zest. Remember that was 1 teaspoon of orange zest to your bowl. And then you're also going to add your lemon zest, and that was a half a teaspoon of lemon zest. And that's just going to give the dough such wonderful flavor. We're going to also add that little bit of water. It was approximately 2 tablespoons. And then we're adding our 2 egg yolks to the bowl. And then we're going to add probably about around half of the all-purpose flour to the bowl. You don't want to add all the flour at first. We're just going to do this in 2 sections. So we're adding half of the flour, and then we're going to mix that together. Okay, after a while, we're going to just scrape the sides a little bit, and then we're going to add the rest of the ingredients to the bowl. So we're adding here just a little pinch of salt, and then we're going to add 1 teaspoon of pure vanilla extract. And that pure vanilla extract is just going to give it such wonderful flavor to our cookie dough. After we add the vanilla extract, we're going to add the rest of the flour. And don't forget, the flour was a total of 2 cups of all-purpose unsifted flour. And we're just going to add the rest of that flour to the bowl there and then continue to mix it until it's well mixed. So maybe about another minute or 2. Here's a little tip for you. Get a dish towel and put it over your mixer. So when you turn on your mixer, the flour doesn't go flying all over the place. And then once it's on for a bit, then you can remove the towel. Make sure you preheat your oven to 350 degrees.
Okay, so once you put on your oven, you're preheating your oven to 350 degrees. We're going to start making our cookies. So I have my dough here. Form your dough into just a big ball like this. Don't overwork your dough. And I have my egg whites that are in this bowl here. And what we're going to do is we're going to pinch off approximately about an inch and make a ball. The diameter of the ball should be around 1 inch or so, maybe a little, yeah, approximately 1 inch. So this is the size you want to make your cookie. All right. So what I'm going to actually do is I'm actually going to put them first on my tray. I'm going to make them first. And then what you want to do, and I'll probably spread them at least an inch apart. So I'll probably have 3 across, maybe 4 rows and 3 columns. This should make around, it can make up to 48 cookies depending how large you make your cookie. But I'm going to show you really quickly the process of putting it together. So you get your dough, form it into a ball, just like this. And then I'm going to just roll it into the egg white. I'll move this over here so you can see. Roll it into the egg white. And then we roll it into the nuts. Just like that. That's why it's good to have a good size bowl for the nuts so you can roll it around. Then we'll be placing it on our cookie sheet. Now I'm using Silpat. All right, so you want to make sure that you get some Silpat. And I'm placing it right here. And I'm going to get my thumb. And I'm going to just press down and make a little well. You don't want to go all the way to the bottom. But you do want to make it deep enough so you can put some jam in there. And I'm using red raspberry jam. This is really the only one you should use because it tastes so good with the red raspberry jam. And I'm going to place the red raspberry jam right in that little hole. Now you want to make sure that you have enough. You don't want to spill over, okay? So look at how I fill that. Can you see that? That's exactly how you want it to look and to be. So these are my cookies. I'm going to continue making. I'm going to do one more just to show you. So get some dough, form a ball, and you can make all your balls first. All right, that's what I'm actually going to do. I'm just doing this now so I can show you. Get your ball, roll it into the egg white, and then take off the excess, and then roll it into the nuts. Very important that you roll it in the nuts. And then you're going to place it on your cookie sheet. Press down with your thumb. Don't go all the way to the bottom. Get a little spoonful for that well, and that's your little bird in the nest. See how cute? Hopefully you can see that. And don't worry about if little nuts spill off to the side on your cookie sheet. That doesn't matter. All right, so we're going to do another one where we're going to continue making all of them. And then when they come out of the oven, we have the oven on 350 degrees, preheating to 350 degrees. And we're going to bake these for around probably about, depending on your oven, it could be 15, 18 minutes. All right. And you just want to make sure until they're getting a little brown, just a little bit. All right, we'll be back. Okay, so I left it for about 17 minutes, 18 minutes, and then you want to just let them sit for just about a minute after you take them out of the oven, and then transfer them to a cooling rack. And then once it's cooled, you're gonna just sprinkle some powdered sugar on it. It's gonna be so good. Okay, so I have them on the cooling rack. They have cooled down. You want to leave them for at least probably 10, 15 minutes. Just make sure that they're cooled down, because now we're going to gently sprinkle it with some powdered sugar, a little coating of snow. Now I have underneath this cooling rack, I have some tin foil just to capture the extra powdered sugar so the counter doesn't get all dirty. But you just want a very light coating of snow. Okay, so I put them on this pretty little platter here, this stand, and it's actually a cake stand, but I use it for cookies. To have a bite. So good. Buttery. The nuts, the red raspberry jam is perfect. Little coating of powdered sugar. So good. Delicious. This is Yvonne's favorite holiday cookie with a little coffee. Perfect. Thank you so much for joining us today on Happy Healthy Living with Yvonne Douglas. Remember, if you want that homey vibe, you need to subscribe, and please give this video a like. Until next time, my friends, happy healthy living. Bye-bye, and Merry Christmas.